The SEAL Admiral's laughter cuts through the Pentagon conference room like a blade. Fleet Commander? He repeats, his voice dripping with disbelief. You? The woman in the crisp navy whites doesn't blink, doesn't flinch. She simply holds his gaze as every officer at the table shifts uncomfortably. What happens in the next 60 seconds will shatter everything he thought he knew about the silent war. Her name is Commander Elena Vasquez, and she's been in this room exactly 4 minutes. The Joint Special Operations briefing was supposed to be routine: budgets, deployments, the usual dance of PowerPoints and posturing. But when she walked in, the whispers started. Too young, too small. The Admiral, 3 decades of combat, chest full of ribbons, couldn't help himself. Let me guess, he says, leaning back in his chair with that trademark smirk. They're letting anyone command fleets now? What have you got? A drone squadron? Couple of tugboats? The other officers don't laugh. They know something he doesn't. But he's already committed, already crossing the line he can't uncross. Elena reaches into her briefcase. Her hands are steady, but there's something in her eyes. Not anger, not hurt, something colder. She slides a single folder across the polished mahogany table. The Admiral doesn't open it. Not yet. He's still grinning, still playing to the room, still thinking this is his moment. Sir, she says quietly, I command the fleet you don't know exists. The temperature drops. He opens the folder. The first page is a satellite image, black and white, grainy, dated 3 months ago. Coordinates he recognizes. The South China Sea. The mission that never made the briefings. The one that prevented World War I before sunrise. His smile dies as he flips to the second page. Then the third. Then his hands start to shake, because he's staring at after-action reports he was never cleared to see. Operations that happened in the dark spaces between official wars. And every single one, has the same authorization signature at the bottom. Commander E. Vasquez. Fleet Commander, Shadow Operations. But here's what breaks him. The faces. Page 7 is a photo grid. 16 operators. He knows 3 of them personally. Good men. Brothers. They didn't die in training accidents like the report said. They died under her command, in battles that never happened, fighting enemies the public will never hear about. The room is silent except for the rustle of paper as his fingers tremble. You sent my guys into. He can't finish. His voice cracks like ice. Your guys? Elena's tone could freeze blood. With respect, Admiral, they stopped being yours the moment they volunteered for Shadow Fleet. They knew the deal. No recognition. No medals. No funerals with flags. She pauses, and now there's fire behind the ice. But they saved 14 million lives in Seoul, stopped a bioweapon in Karachi, extracted a defector whose intel prevented a nuclear launch. So forgive me if I don't apologize for doing the job you didn't know needed doing. The Admiral's jaw works, but nothing comes out. He's reading now, really reading. The scope of her command is staggering. 18 submarines that don't appear on any registry. A network of underwater facilities that make Area 51 look like a gift shop. Operators recruited from every branch, every ally nation, every shadow in the intelligence community. And she's been running it for 4 years. 4 years. While he was giving interviews and cutting ribbons and thinking he understood how the game was played. Why now? He finally whispers. Why are you telling us this? She walks to the window overlooking the Potomac. The late afternoon sun cuts through the glass, and that's when the Admiral sees it, the scar. It runs from her collar to her jawline, thick and surgical, the kind you get when shrapnel misses your carotid by millimeters, the kind you earn, not receive. I was a lieutenant on a destroyer, she says, not turning around. 8 years ago, we were doing anti-piracy off Somalia, boring, routine, safe, until it wasn't. Her reflection in the glass is ghostly distant. My captain hesitated. 3 seconds. That's all it took. Pirates hit us with RPGs, boarded us, took hostages. 17 sailors died because one man couldn't make the call fast enough. She finally turns back to face them. I swore I'd never hesitate, never let protocol kill people, never let rank determine who's right. Her eyes lock onto the Admiral. So when they came to me, When they said they needed someone to command the impossible, I said yes. And I've made every call, every sacrifice, every funeral I couldn't attend. The Admiral closes the folder. His hands are still shaking, but it's not anger anymore. It's something else. Something like recognition. He rises slowly, his chair scraping against the floor like a confession. How many? He asks. How many didn't come home? 43. The number hangs in the air like smoke. 43 lives she carries. 43 families who think their loved ones died in accidents, training mishaps, suicides. 43 ghosts that haunt the space between what the public knows and what keeps them safe. The Admiral does something then that no one expects. He stands at attention, brings his hand up in a slow, deliberate salute. Not the casual acknowledgement between peers, but the full, formal salute you give to someone who's earned something you haven't. Around the table, one by one, the other officers rise and follow. Elena doesn't salute back immediately. She lets the moment stretch, lets them feel the weight of what they didn't understand. Then, finally, she returns it. Sharp, precise, respectful. Tomorrow, she says, Shadow Fleet becomes a footnote, a budget line, a committee hearing. She picks up her briefcase. But tonight, we're still the thin line between chaos and civilization. And I've got 4 operations running that can't wait for your permission. She walks to the door, then pauses. Looks back at the Admiral. That joke you made? About tugboats? One of my commanders actually started on a tugboat. Worked her way to submarines. She's currently sitting at the bottom of the Arctic Ocean, running counterintelligence against Russian drones. She's 26. And she's 10 times the sailor you were at 40. The door closes with a soft click. The Admiral stands there for a long moment, staring at the folder. Then he opens it again, reads every page, every name, every mission. When he finally looks up, his eyes are wet. Gentlemen, he says quietly, we just met the most dangerous officer in the United States military, and we insulted her. Someone asks, what do we do? The Admiral shakes his head. We pray she forgives us, and we make damn sure Congress doesn't destroy what she built. Drop a comment if you've ever misjudged someone who turned out to be extraordinary. We all have that story. The SEAL Admiral's laughter cuts through the Pentagon conference room like a blade. Fleet Commander? He repeats, his voice dripping with disbelief. You? The woman in the crisp navy whites doesn't blink, doesn't flinch. She simply holds his gaze as every officer at the table shifts uncomfortably. What happens in the next 60 seconds will shatter everything